Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's, and this is the card we are making today. So this is another one of my Claire's Creative Christmas Card Challenge, the 5 C's, and it's a really cute card. So I got the inspiration for this from Pinterest, and I can't think of who it was. But it's absolutely gorgeous. It's such an easy, simple card, and we're using the die cutting machine today. So I am using some of the backgrounds that I've created, and the snowman and the let it snow, and then we've got the inside. And I need to get my adhesive remover out actually. So I love my adhesive remover. There we go, that's better. We now have a pretty card. So what do you need? So let's move this out of the way. So I have got a card blank, which is my normal size. So that is 14.5 by 23 and scored, no, 10.5. Basically it's the full width by 4. And then I have got a piece of paper which is 10 by 14 for the inside, and then I have got a piece of card which is 7.5 by 11.5, and then this piece is going to go on top, and this is very slightly smaller. So this is 7.3 by 11.3, and then I've also got a piece of my DSP that I've created, which I'm going to cut up, and I also have a piece of white paper which is 2 centimeters, and then it's going to be scrap for the rest of it. So and then I have another piece of paper which is going to be small enough to go through the mini machine, which mine is called Dinky. So let's start with the stamping. So today I'm going to use basic grey instead of smoky slate, and I am going to just simply take my snowman from Snowman Seasons. I'm going to ink him up, and I'm just going to stamp in the middle of my scrap piece of white paper, and I'm going to leave him to dry. And then I am going to take my inside, which is this piece, which is 10 by 14, and I'm also going to take this little piece of card here, and I'm pulling out my Night of Navy ink. So this is Pool Party, this is Night of Navy. I'm going to take my Let It Snow, which I've just got on a B block, and I am just going to simply stamp it, oh no, down here. And this is what I don't like about Night of Navy, it goes all over your hands. So I've got Let It Snow, I'm going to move that over there to dry. I'm going to turn this over because I've got ink all over it, and I am going to clean that off in a minute. I'm going to take the Hoping This Season Builds Heartwarming Memories, and I'm going to stamp that in the middle. So hopefully that'll be okay because I haven't got another side of paper to do. So I'm actually going to go off piece slightly, and I'm just going to stamp some snowflakes onto my inside as well. So I'm just going to put that to the one side to clean off in a minute. So I am then going to remove the Night of Navy because I am going to fire it everywhere. And I am going to take my Tombow and layer up these bits that I've already done so that we can do some card creating and avoid getting ink everywhere, which is probably not going to happen. So I'm just using Tombow around the sides and then in the middle. I'm just going to glue that down. And then I'm going to take this piece of Pool Party. I think it's Pool Party. And add it to this piece of Night of Navy. So as I said, there is a tiny banner around the outside. So when I've cut this, there's a little lip. So the way to solve that is just to run around with your bone folder if you have a little lip. So there's my Let It Snow, and then I'm just going to simply stick this onto my card as well. And I'm going to line it up so it is as centered as possible. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece down. So I'm going to do something I don't normally do, which is use inches on a card. So I'm going to cut this at 2.5, which is just under 4 centimeters. And I'm going to cut this at 2.5 inches as well. Oh, sorry, 1.5 inches. I have no idea what I'm talking about today. So I'm going to cut this at 1.5 inches as well. And I'll explain my reason in a second. So the reason I wanted them that is to go into this punch. So this is the banner punch, which I absolutely adore. So I'm going to put those to one side, put my banner down, move my out the way. I'm going to move these out the way as well, actually, because they're in my way. So I've got my banner punch. I'm just going to try and open it. I am going to put my piece of card in, hence why I wanted it to be 1.5 inches, which is just under 4 centimeters. I'll make sure it's okay and send that. So now I've got a gorgeous banner, and then I'm going to do the same with this piece. So you might wonder why I wanted a white piece, and it's because I'm going to separate this part of the banner, and we'll work that out in a second. So last thing to do is to play with Mr. Snowman. So I am going to take my pumpkin pie Stampin'Up marker and add his nose. So I've just used the pumpkin pie Stampin'Up marker to colour in his nose, and then I am going to run this through my dinky die cut machine. So I've managed to lose my purple tape, so I'm just using some old washi tape, and I'm just going to stick that down. And yep, this is Dinky. This is really super cute. I have an electronic die cutting machine, and I used to have a Big Shot, but I do find this useful if I'm only doing a quick one die cut. If I'm doing multiples, I use my electronic, but this is quite cute, so I quite like it, and it just sits on the corner of my desk like a lot of people's do. And so that should be quick as a sniff. So let's put this away. Oh, sorry, I should have said, so I'm using the stitch shapes here. So you've got ovals, circles and squares, and these are my favourite die cuts, but you could use any die cut that you might have. And I'm just going to bring this one back actually, so put this back on here so I don't lose it. Okay, so to finish off is up to you, but I think he needs glitter. So I'm going to take my detail glue, And I am going to just add some little bits around my card, and then I think I am going to go for down here as well. And then remember with your detail glue to put the lid back on straight away so that it doesn't dry up. You can unclog it by running it through a hot tap, and I'm going to use the glitter. So this is the glitter that we don't sell anymore, but you could use any glitter. As I said, I've got some, I think I've got some Cosmic Shimmer glitter that's quite similar, but just grab any glitter and whoop, let's just tap it off and give it a quick blow, and there we have our glitter. So I'm going to leave him to one side to dry while we put together the banner. So as I said, this banner is actually going to be slightly too long for the card. Oh, actually this one might be better. So I'll put that there. Oh, I remember why. It's because it's cut at 10.5, and then obviously I've used the banner punch. And I wanted the banner to be slightly underneath. So what I have done is taken a pair of scissors and I'm just going to chop it in the middle. And I want it to be a bit more like this at the bottom. So I'm going to stick these two together. And hope that they combine well. Yep, perfect. That wants to go there. And that wants to go there. So what I'm going to do is now stick this down. Just there. And then I'm going to trim off the excess using a big pair of scissors. I actually got these at a local hardware store. We actually have one. It's very impressive. And I'm going to stick that on and put that there. And then I'm going to pop this on dimensionals, and I'm hoping this is dry. Yep, it is. So I have got some large dimensionals and I'm just going to add these. So although it is quite a large shape, and I would sometimes use just for normal foam pads, it's not too bad actually. I don't need to use tons and tons. And I will stick one in the middle to make sure that it stays. Maybe it hasn't dried. Oh well. Leave to dry. Note to self, leave to dry. I'm just going to move those to one side, and I'm actually going to put the lid back on this because that's going to go everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to stick him on there. And there we have a really cute, simple, let's move these out of the way, Christmas card, which you can send to people. If you have any questions, you can contact me, Claire@handmade@hudsons.co.uk. The dimensions are on my blog, which is linked in below. You can find me on Tinterweb, handmade@hudsons.co.uk. You can find me on Pinterest and Facebook. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope this inspires you to make some Christmassy Christmas cards. And I think that looks really rather cute. Thank you very much for pressing play, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.